very professional presentation. You always think before you speak, it seems, and you pause if you need to pause to think rather than fill in with and you know. And I think that's impressive also. So it's a good trait to practice.
I think that may come from me being a preacher, a minister.
Could be. Stand and deliver is a different thing in education, but it's still stand and deliver. Isn't it?
That's right, because I can't say and, but. It's not going to help people.
We shouldn't be taking up the time. But anyway, I'm excited for you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everybody. You ready? Yes. I got some good feedback from you and Dr. Tillman on those papers too.
You're almost done, honey.
Yeah.
When you put on the pressure to get all that done, I knew you were on your way out the door.
Well, I remember
read that.
Dr. Lamb said, if you're not done, we're going to put you in another class. I was like, no way.
Well, that class will be pinning a DR on your rear.
So I went in and I said, I'm going to do all of this. And I started with the PSYOP and I've gotten to, I think, the third one. But after talking to Dr. Whitaker, she's like, go back, because everything that is asking you, you have to make sure you're putting those things in only. So now I have to go back, because when it said paste this, I was pasting, oh my goodness, a lot. And she was like, you got to take that out because it's not asking for all of that. So that helped a lot. So I'm like on the PSYOP, the third, I've done 1 through 3 already, but I got to go back and fix those. So I won't go any further, because you need to have the first part right before you can even start the rest of it. So I said, let me go back and fix it. You got to have something to work with.
How's everybody?
That's it accounted for.
I'm going to mute now.
There's Dr. Stillman. I see Jessica. Jessica, can you hear me? Wave. How are you? How are things in Chesney? Are y'all looking for a new principal? I can't hear you, but I think you said yes. I heard that. Did you hire one already? Good.
We can't hear her.
We can't hear you, but that's okay. She took her mute off.
Yeah.
Probably because she's got headphones plugged.
You're tell everybody hi. Wait for him. Say hi.
No, can't hear you yet, Jessica.
I'm not Jessica. Say hi.
I'm gonna unmute you. I don't know. Anyway. Jessica is in beautiful Chesney, South Carolina. And I have a story about Chesney, but I won't tell it today. I don't come out looking the best in the story, so I better not tell it today. Oh, Lord. Just up the street, about 4 or 5 blocks from the high school, there's a baseball field. And I was the starting pitcher in the Dixie Youth League World Series. And that's where we played the final World Series, was played, North and South Carolina was played there. And I was starting pitcher for North Carolina. We lost 6-2. That was a long time ago. We lost 6-2. I didn't give up a hit. We lost 6-2. But that's another story. So Chesney will always be near and dear. Are you early or late? We're at 7, so you're on time. Your clinical administrator, Miss Ramsey, was a new principal. You met her. We're so excited. Yay! That's what I was hoping. Where's Jessica? That's what I was hoping. She's such a nice lady and was on the ball. So that's good news. That's good news for everybody, for Jess. Yeah, Miss Ramsey. And it wasn't about terms. She's been there a long time, but she knew what was going on. She was on the ball, so I'm happy for her. That's really good news. That's really good news. So, yes, I'm glad to hear about that. That's great. All right. Let's see how many participants we got. We got 32, and we still got another minute to go here. I don't think we'll go over the 100 limit tonight. Doesn't look like it. There's Amanda, Tiffany, Samanja, Randy, Lakia. There's Dr. Wilson. I saw Dr. Stedman. Dr. Stedman, can you hear me?
I can.
Well, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing well. I hope you are.
I'm plumbing. I've been up under the sink all day.
Uh-oh. It's a hot where I live. You can't do a whole lot.
Well, I'm inside plumbing. Can't go out.
Mm.
It's 96 today. It's the coolest day we've had in 4 days. It's only 96 today. The heat index, 103. I'm sitting here looking at this yard I spent a fortune on, water it, irrigation. Make me pay for city water sitting here on the lake, and it's just burning up. And I don't know what, I mean, there's nothing else you can do when it's this hot. My little dogs,
Dessert.
we go out about daylight, and she can't even hardly breathe. It's so hot.
Surprise me.
Yes, Marshall, you should be on this town hall.
Everybody should be. Can't be in the wrong place on this one. I'm going to go ahead and get started at 7 o'clock.
Dr. Lamb, before we get started, Carrie's joined us. I just want to say congratulations to Carrie. She has one thing left at the end of this semester to turn into task stream, and that is her internship, and she has successfully completed everything with 4s.
Good.
Congratulations, Carrie.
That's great. All right. So let's go ahead and get started since you're recording. This is the MELS Legacy Camp Town Hall Summer 2019. If you're in the MELS program, you're in the right place. And so the point tonight is to make sure everybody knows where we are and what we're doing this summer. And so I'm going to go through each of the cohorts. If you don't see yours, just be patient. I'll get to it in a minute. And so I'm going to work through all these together. All right, so we'll start out with the folks who started in spring 18 in the full 5 semesters master's program. You finally made it to the end. You have Dr. Wilson for class. She's actually online with us tonight. If you have a question for her. So your responsibilities this semester are your 605 Blackboard coursework. Don't forget to do your coursework. Don't think because you finished task stream that you're done. Make sure that you do your coursework, discussion boards, case studies, assignments, peer reviews. Your task stream DRF portfolio evidence are to complete all 6. That's AppSell through SIOP. Make sure all 6 of those are complete. And then your final and third and final round of competency folio artifacts. Make sure that those are uploaded, and then once your coach that looks them over and says they're good, request comments from them, submit. There's a way to move them over and submit your competency folio. Please remember, do publish share won't do it. In your 605 shell, there is a video from me how to upload your competency folio. It's about 2 minutes and 45 seconds long. So all you have to do is read is listen to that, move it over, get it submitted, and then you'll need to make sure that you get your internship log. Everybody's got to do 80 hours every semester, and then do your dispositions and your competency analysis. All right, let me do questions right quick. Okay, yeah, everybody should be here. All right, now the 3-semester add-on people, the fall 18 folks, you're in the same bin as the 5-semester add-on regular master's people. You should be in Dr. Stone, Dr. Sanders, Dr. Whitaker's, or Dr. Zion's class this summer. Again, the same things are all due. All your evidences are due. Your competency folio, all of your internship logs. Master's people, that's 5 logs of 80 hours. The add-on, it's 3 logs of 80 hours. And don't you know, one semester of 160 doesn't it does not make up for any other. You have to have at least 80 every semester. By state law, you have to be, or their policy, you have to be a full-time intern. So now your important dates for you people who are finishing this summer. Commencement is on Saturday, the 3rd of August. I better write that in there. I will send you this with the recording tonight. The 6 evidences are due in task stream by 9 a.m. Monday, July 22nd. That gives us a little time if something they have to be sent back for revision and work or something. If you've got it wrong, or give us a little time there. Then the DRF portfolio, including everything: dispositions, analysis, competency folio, internship log, all 6 evidences. That has to be done by Monday morning, July 29th. That's not my deadline. That's the registrar's deadline. If I can't certify you by then, you have to wait till fall to finish. It's just that simple. They have to have a cutoff time, and that is it. Monday the 29th at 9 a.m. if you want to graduate on August the 3rd, or if you want to complete. Please remember, everybody has to apply for graduation. The fee is $75. I think it's $150 for graduation and $75 for add-on. Now, if you add on licensure, people, you don't march because you've already marched for your master's degree. However, you are invited to the reception that we have immediately after. It's a 10 o'clock graduation. We'll be through at noon. We'll be at the Tucker Student Center out next to the football field. And we'll have refreshments. They'll have sandwiches. They'll have food and punch and tea and water. We'll all be there. I'll have your certificate there. And if you don't come, I will mail them to you. But you'll get your Johnston certificate with the seal that looks just like a diploma. We have that for you. It's quite nice. You can frame it. If you don't come, we'll mail it to you a week or so after commencement. We'd love to see you all. We get group pictures. If you come by, if you look at the School of Ed website or come by and see the School of Ed, we've got, I guess it was last summer's picture from last August, where we have the entire steps inside Tucker Center full of education graduates. Summer is our biggest group. We have both add-on and regulars finishing in the summer, and everybody came, and we all had our gowns on. It's quite impressive. So we'd love for you all to come to graduation. We'd love for you all we'd love for you to all come to the reception afterward. Both graduates and add-on licensure, you're both invited to the reception afterward. So there's your dates. All right. For our folks who are not completing this summer, if you are a fall 18 full 5-semester master's program, you're either with Dr. Todd or Dr. Talent in 603 regular this summer. Remember to do all your Blackboard coursework, discussion board, case studies, assignments, evidence, peer review of evidence tasks, your portfolio, your DRF, your evidence this summer is the OMA only. You only have to do the OMA if you're regular masters this summer. Summer is too short to go beyond that. We used to try to get you to do two more of the skip. That I'm not interested in that. You can catch up. You can catch up with the skip in the fall. The summer is just too short to try to do the OMA and the skip. Now that we're doing some pretty heavy duty case studies. As you know, you have 4 case studies now that are really, really good. And so for that reason, the OMA only is due this summer. That still gives you plenty of time. The next 2 semesters are full semesters to do your other 3. So that works out well. No task stream DRF portfolio competency analysis. This summer, complete your portfolio dispositions, your School of Ed dispositions. You have to do 12. You have to do 12 of your artifacts in your competency folio and task stream. 9 required, 4 of your choice. You'll do the other 9 when you do the skip. The full master's people, from spring 19, you're in 602 with Dr. Neal or Dr. Sumner. You have your discussion boards, evidence, artifact work. You'll do the APTEL this summer and only the APTEL. That's all you need to do this summer. You don't have any portfolio work or dispositions, and you have to do the other 9 of your competencies in your competency folio. You have to upload 9 of the other 9 artifacts. You did 13 when you did the APSEL. You did 9 and 4. You just have to do the other 9, and you're good on that. All right, I see a question. Let me get that to come back up here. Yeah, I already muted all the mics. All right. All right. If you are spring 19 3-semester add-on program, you're in your 2nd semester, and so you're in 603 with either me or Dr. Stedman. Doesn't matter. We're all together. You've already had one session with us. We'll have another one Wednesday night this week. You have your Blackboard assignment work, your discussion boards, your case studies. Work's already coming in from my group. I am most pleased with the OMA 1 and 2s I've already seen. I am most pleased with the activity work that you've already done. If the case studies are as good, we're going to have a great summer. I am most impressed with the work that you've done for me so far. I have no complaints, and that's rare for me. This summer, the DRS portfolio evidence, you're going to do the OMA and the skip with us this summer, 4 and 4. No task stream portfolio competency analysis. You'll complete your dispositions, and you'll put all 21 of your competency artifacts in this summer. You'll have to do a whole round this summer since we are doing the OMA and the skip. But we will not start the CAP this summer. We used to try to get a couple of the CAP. We will not try that this semester. We have 8 tasks to do and 10 weeks to do it. I think that's plenty. And by the time we would get to the CAP, school's out anyway. No need to try to start the CAP. If you're ready to start it in the fall, you'll be fine. So that's for the add-on people. Now we've got 3 or 4 people, and it is either 3 or 4. One's got until Tuesday to decide if he wants to join us or not. Dr. Sanders has all cycle students in the 604X course by arrangement, and they have their Blackboard coursework to do, including their discussion boards, assignments, evidence, peer review of evidence tasks. Those folks have to do the skip only. I've already met with them. Dr. Sanders has already met with them. They should be good. So I've turned them loose to go ahead and work, and they'll complete their 2nd round of evidence of artifacts in their competency folio. Please remember that interns should upload for comments in the task stream competency folio at least 80 hours of clinical activities each semester. Please don't put them in your DRF portfolio and submit them for evaluation. You don't do that until either the very end, either at the end of your 5-semester program when you've got 5 of them, or at the end of your 3-semester program when you've got 3. But each semester you put them in your competency folio, not your DRF portfolio, your competency folio and task stream, and request comments of your coach at the end of each semester. Please remember that your clinical coach too have a clinical internship shell in Blackboard. Now there's one that says 698 or 697 or 699, but there's one that says clinical internship and has their name, like Stedman or Hamilton or Tillman or Bullis. Make sure you use that one this summer for help from your task stream coach this summer. Those are already built out and can communicate with you back and forth. So those are already in place. So make sure you use your clinical coach's shell. All right. Clinical coaches, one who have previously made a site visit may do just a Zoom this summer. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, somebody's trying to call through and won't quit. All right. Let me turn that down. All right, I'm back. All right, so clinical coaches too are on the ball this summer. Their shells are with you. You can go ahead and work with them on your work. Please remember, in the summer especially, we try to work as much as we can through our course shell. And then, as I told you, if you're in my class or section with me and Dr. Stedman, we will get to your work daily. I think you'll find that folks in my sections, your work is up to date as of the beginning of this meeting, and it hadn't been in for more than 12 hours without a turnaround. Now, if your work's bad enough, we'll send you over. If you need additional help, I'll send you to the coaches. But right now, we're trying to expedite the process with 8 tasks to do in 10 weeks. But don't hesitate to use your coach's shell if you need to. Please remember, your coach one will make another visit if you want them to, or if they feel like they need to, they'll come out. Otherwise, they'll just Zoom with you. Now, if you've changed schools or site supervisors this summer, then we'll need to visit you again. Now, one of the reasons I singled Jess out, didn't mean to single her out. Jess is in Chesney, and I have been there. I have met her assistant principal, who was her site supervisor. Even though she's got a new principal, it's still, she's got the same site supervisor. So I'll probably go by because I just love to be in Chesney and eat the Phantom Shell. But I won't need to. But normally, if you change site supervisors, or if your principal changes, even if your site supervisor doesn't, then you need to let us know, and your coach needs to come by and make sure everything's good with them. We don't want any problems at the end of your program. We handle our problems up front. That's a smart thing to do administratively. We don't want any problems at the end of your program with somebody not signing off on your clinical internship and preventing you from getting a license. We've been in this long enough to know that if you do a little work up front, it pays off in the end. Again, I have the clinical coach operational definitions here. It tells you the difference between the two and the evaluator. The main thing about your clinical coach one is they're proximal. They're near you. They just come out and visit, and they handle anything if there's an issue or a problem, especially if you're not getting access to information or data. I'll send them out to visit. If you want them to come, we'll send them out to visit you again to talk with your administration. Your clinical coach, too, doesn't make site visits. They work with you online all the time with your class. And then the evaluator, please remember, the evaluator is an anonymous person. They just grade on the state rubric. They communicate through me. If there's an issue or a problem, like if there's a revision or they want me to send you something, they communicate that to me and I communicate it to you. If they send something back for revision, they'll communicate that to me, and I'll make sure that the coach is also notified, and you will work with your coach to fix it. Now, some of the evaluators tell you who they are and want to work with you. If they want to do that, we don't pay them to do that. We pay the coach to work with you. We just pay the evaluator to evaluate. So if you've got one that's willing to work with you, I'd take advantage of that if something is sent back. But here are the definitions of the folks that we have working with you. Here's what your responsibilities are this summer. The summer session, as you know, has been moved up a week. So we don't have hardly any break between spring and summer. We only have 10 weeks. For us to be able to take a week off in the summer for you folks to vacate, we really have to hit it hard in the summertime, especially in the add-on licensure. And that's one of the reasons why I myself and Dr. Stedman actually take those classes, because to try to get through as fast as we can, because there's a lot of work to do. We still want you to get what you paid for. We want you to get the training that you need. So, and I say that we've got other people who could give you just as much. Dr. Stedman and I just don't take time off. We just owe and show up at work every day. So everybody else is smarter than us. They go on vacation and travel. We just don't do that, not in the summer. We'll get some time later. All right. So questions you have for me. I've gone 3 minutes over. Questions you have for me on I'm going to send you the agenda here for tonight. So you'll know exactly where you are and what's required of you, so that if you have any questions about the role of the people working with you, it's on this list. I wanted to meet with you briefly. I know it's a holiday. Thank you for meeting with me. I didn't. The reason I'm meeting with you tonight is it doesn't conflict with any of your classes this week. And I knew if you didn't, you'd just watch it, and I was going to try to keep it at about 20 minutes anyway. People lose interest after that. So if you have any questions for me, I'll be glad. Instructors, professors that have joined me tonight, if you have anything that you'd like to add, now would be the time. I appreciate your time, Dr. Stedman, Dr. Whitaker, Dr. Tillman. Who else have we got here? Dr. Zions is here. I see Dr. Todd, Dr. Talent. Wow, got a good turnout tonight here. And Sharon. Dr. Wilson is here with us as well. I saw her earlier. I don't know if we got anybody else. Somebody tried to call me, but I don't take calls while we're on. So here's a good question. Who would I speak to? Let me get back up. Too fast. Okay, I did that. So you speak to your clinical coach one and just tell them you'd like a visit. That's all you have to do. You don't even need me. Whoever made your initial visit, whoever your visitor was, send them an email. I'd like a visit before June 11, and just carbon copy me. Don't, just carbon copy me. I mean, they're glad to come. Explanation of task 4 for the graphic. Just do the same graphic organizer you've done for all action plans. That's all you have to do. You summarize your cultural advocacy plan, specific activity, persons responsible, timeline, formative, summative assessment, resources, goals, and indicator of success. Use the same graphic organizer you use to summarize your action plan in the app cell, your professional growth plan in the app tail, your marketing plan in the skip. Use the same graphic organizer. That's it. It's as simple as I can make it. Where can we get more guidance for the site? We ready to begin that assignment? Well, in your template, you've got in your class shell, you've got the SIOP template that tells you where to go and what to pull. And that we will not give you any more information than that. We will tell you where to go and what to pull. It's a copy and paste. Just look at the directions. The template tells you where to go, and then the directions tell you what to pull when you get there. So if we look at that, let me pull that up on my screen. You are able to view my screen. Let me do this again. This is in your course shell. Let me move that out. This is the SIOP template. Oh, here we go. I'm guessing y'all can't see that. Okay. And so it tells you what you're looking for. Let me move this out of the way. It tells you what you're looking for, instructions, and it tells you where to go find it. And it gives you the instruction, and it tells you exactly where to go and find it. It's just a copy and paste. This is not rocket science. You did all the work. This is just putting it together. We're pulling individual pieces of it, and I'll tell you exactly where it is in red. And there's your graphic organizer that we used in the app cell. We used it in the app tail. That's the one you're going to use in the cap. There it is. There's your graphic organizer.
Dr. Lamb, may I say one thing about this?
Sure.
In looking at some of the SIOP work today, we need to remind them that while a lot of it is copy and paste, your narrative work, your transition narratives are very, very important when you're doing the PSYOP. It is a lot of copy and paste, but you don't just copy and paste. It's got to make sense when you put
Some
it in.
linking narrative.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Stedman, thank you for saying that, because I think that's true with all of them. They can copy and paste, but it needs to fit that rubric.
Right. There's got to be some linking narrative that makes it make sense. It can't just be that, but you go copy, paste it, and then you sit and look at the directions and you figure out what part of it to leave and what part to take out. You go get those pieces, you bring them back, you copy, you paste them, you bring them back, and then you sit and you work through them to make sure that they fit the rubric. Where can that template be found? It's in your class shell for 605.
And it's also in our internship shells under templates.
Yeah, we have them in the 605 shell, and they're in your intern shell as well. Okay. Is it okay if you finish your intern hours in June? If you get 80, what I've always recommended is as soon as school's out, you stay for 2 weeks, 40 hours, 8 hours a day for 5 days, and knock them out in June and be done. That's what I would do. I'd knock them out in 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks in June. As soon as school closes out, I'd get those 2 weeks in June. I'd be done. I've always recommended that. That's it. Yeah, the template, again, I will send it out when I send out the agenda tonight and the link from this video. I will send it, but you'll find it in all your 605 shells, and you'll find it in all of your internship shells. They will be there. If they've been removed, I'll put them back myself. Everybody needs to have that. This is, once you pull your stuff together, then you just make it make sense. It's not rocket science. If you switch school halfway through, would that affect what I put in your PSYOP? No, you still go pull the information at the same places. As long as your PSYOP's all done in the same place, each of yours is done in the same place, you'll be good. Now, here's a good question. If you're an add-on licensure person and you'd like to do the other 2 courses to get a second master's degree, we've got a lot of folks doing that now. It's a really good deal. When you come back in the fall, you can only take 604, and then you take 602 in the spring. You don't have any evidence or no task stream work, no clinical work. All you have to do is take the class. You think about how easy that would be with no task stream work at all and no clinical 80 hours to have to do. All you have to do is take 2 classes and you're done. You take 604 in the fall because we don't offer 602 because there is no 601 this summer, and then you take 602 in the spring and you're good. Not that expensive. A lot of the fees get waived because there's no task stream fee, there's no portfolio fee. You just pay for the hours, 6 hours, and there's no clinical internship, so you only have to pay for 6 rather than 8. So it's actually pretty inexpensive to do it that way. And then by the time spring rolls around, now somebody asked me, that's a good idea, Angela. All right. Now, here's an idea as well. And it's up to you. And I have got this set up and I've already approved this. If you want to wait, I don't recommend it, but if you want to do it, that's up to you. If you want to wait till the spring, I'll let you take 602 and 4 at the same time. Let me say that again. If you want to wait to spring to get a second master's degree, I don't recommend it. You can take 12 hours at one time. You can take 602 and 604. Since you're not taking the internship part, they will let you take 12 hours at one time. They won't let you take 16. And but because you're not doing the internship part, They'll let you take both of them. Taking 602 and 4 will give you a master's in school administration. That is correct. Would it make sense to have a second master's if you're completing an EDD? It would make sense if your master's is not in education. It makes sense to get one, especially if you're going to work outside of North Carolina or South Carolina. If you think you might ever, a lot of places require in order to get licensed in those states, you have to have a master's degree in administration. If you already have a master's and are getting an add-on, how many hours you need to get your doctorate is 60. 60 hours. It's 3 years full-time, but the good thing about coming back to Gardner Webb for your doctorate is that 3 years you can do your if you come back in organizational leadership, you do a capstone, you do it simultaneous with your coursework, and you're done in 3 years, period. You can also do your dissertation in curriculum and instruction or in ed leadership at the same time that you do your courses, and you could be done in 3 years, period. You're out the door. So all three of our doctoral programs are designed for you to be out the door. Even though it's 60 hours, you're out the door when your classes are over, which is really, really neat. So you have, I think it's 9 semesters you do, and then that last semester, you double up on dissertation, that last one. So it's 9 semesters, and you're at the house. You're done, and you do the dissertation at the same time. And they have a coach that works with you the whole time, just like we coach. They've adopted that model now so that you can finish your dissertation along with your coursework, and that's happening, which is really good. Masters in education management's fine. That will work. What we found is when our students went to union states that have a teachers union, one of the ways to keep the competition down is they require in union states to get a license, they required you to have a master's in education. So we had a young lady who was a military dependent from Jacksonville, North Carolina, and her husband got transferred to Hawaii, to Hickam, the Air Force Base out there. Her master's was in technology, and she had to get a second master's. That's how this whole thing started. We said, wait a minute, we got people who want a second master's degree. And so Amber did 2 and 4, got her, and she's got an AP job already. So what we found is a lot of union states, in order to try to prevent the competition from people coming in from outside, have it put in that you have to have a master's in administration. And so that's why we have a lot of folks coming back to do that. For the people who don't have a master's in administration, it also makes you much more marketable, I believe. All right. Can I explain the licensure process at the state level? Do we submit anything to the state yourselves? Yes, you do. And Seth will explain that to you completely. I don't do licensure, but I'll tell you briefly how that works. Seth will send you an email, and he'll tell you to go online, you fill out Form V and send them $55. 2 weeks after commencement, about August 17th, he'll have your transcripts, he'll send it in, and then it'll go from there. So you have one form to send to DPI in North Carolina, and they have a place where you pay your $55. He works with you on that. Then once that's done, you take the praxis. If you're in South Carolina, it all goes to you. Then you apply to them for a reciprocal license, and you're done. You finish them both. But Seth Opry does licensure. I don't. And so I try to stay out of his world, but that's how it works. You have one form to fill out online, and you got to pay the $55, and you're good. All right, so we have a master's in teaching math and a master's in communication. Would it be more? Yes, it would be more beneficial to do your doctorate. You don't need one. If you've got one in math and in the field of math and one in communication, you're good. Yes, you're good. You need to get your doctorate now. You need to move on and do that. I look strongly at curriculum and instruction, since you'd have an add-on licensure in I'd look strongly at kind of fill in your gaps. You know, you can look at CNI, you can look at ed leadership. Jessica probably, you know, and the people say, well, what's the difference? If you're out of the classroom, you can do ed leadership. If you're still in the classroom, you can do the doctorate in CNI. And that doesn't mean you won't ever leave the classroom once you have that administrative certificate. And so that's kind of the way it works. If you're still school-based in the classroom, do the doctorate in CNI. If you're not, if you left the classroom, then you could do the doctorate in LS. So that's a very good question. And that's the difference, because much of the material is the same. Understanding, completing 602 would give you a master's in administration regarding web with the add-on licensure. Yeah. Now this is for the people who come and do have a master's degree. They come and do add-on licensure, 601, 3, and 5, do their portfolio and their 80 hours of clinical. You can come back, do 602 and 604 only, no task stream portfolio, no clinical hours, do 2 and 4, and then you have a master's degree in executive leadership, school administration from Gardner-Webb. That is taking those 2 classes. And you can take them fall and spring, 4 in the spring, 602 in the 604 in the fall, 602 in the spring, or not my favorite, but you can wait till the spring, take 2 and 4 together and be done in 1 semester if you want to do that. If you have a couple of master's degrees already, work on the doctorate. If you're in the classroom, do the doctorate in curriculum instruction. If you're out of the classroom, do the doctorate in ed leadership. All right, so somebody wants a syllabus for 2 and 4 for expectation. Yeah, we can do that. Our new, just about being certified or having experience. All right, so yeah, you got to get your certification, and then so you can start the doctorate in curriculum instruction. Are you required to have a master's to become a principal, or the add-on is sufficient as long as you're in North or South Carolina? The only time it's going to be a requirement is if you're in a union state. So yes, you're fine in North and South Carolina. You will be certified. Seth will send a letter that says that. That is correct. What is the difference between organizational leader and organizational leadership for non-K-12? If you're looking to leave traditional K-12 education, we have a doctorate in organizational leadership. For other nonprofits, that'd be like community college, small college, city, county, local government, churches, things that don't require a license, police, fire, charter schools, private schools, church schools, things that don't require a license, that aren't traditional K-12. We have an organizational leadership for that. It's also 60 hours. Who do we need to notify about rolling for 602 or 4? Just send it to me, and I'll send it to Cheryl Griffin, and we'll get the ball rolling. That way we've got an email chain. Just send it to me. Advice for interviews next month. I'll do interviewing. If I need to do it before next month, I will. I'll be on here pretty quickly. I can send you the video from last semester, but I'll come on live with you. My advice is know what kind of interview it is. Is it going to be a applicant pool interview, a virtual interview? Is it going to be a reasoning activity? Is it going to be a data dive? I mean, what is it going to be a principal interview? Is it going to be a superintendent interview? Is it going to be a group interview with lay people, parents, community members? There's 4 different types of interviews. You need to know what kind you're getting yourself into, and they usually progress into all of them, but I can cover that for you. If you'd like a video of last semester's, and the materials are in your shell if you're in 605. The interviewing materials are already there. But if you'd like a video from last semester, just send me an email and I'll shoot you that. Why am I maddened about not taking 2 and 4 together? Because it's just a lot to do. I'll just tell you, taking 12 graduate hours, that's real. I'll let you do it. I don't mind you doing it, but now Taking 2 classes at the same time, as demanding as that is, that's just a lot. If people want to do it, I have no doubt you can, but it's a lot to do. The better is to do them separately and take 2 semesters. But if you want to take them all at one time, that's fine. And so what I'm telling you is we're running a 12-hour program right now in add-on licensure for our CNI doctoral students who are all but dissertation or who have already finished, and that 12 hours is killing them. I mean, it's about a full-time job. But they're doing it, and you can do it. It's just you got to know when you get into it, it's not going to be like it was before. The materials work. Thank you. Would the organizational leadership doctorate help with K-12 jobs as well? Not as much, but you do have your doctorate, and so and if you got your license, you're still good. But we're not really looking. Dr. Hamilton's not really looking for people who want to stay in K-12 in that. We're looking for people who want to branch out in that. The materials work. Thank you. Okay. Is it any way to get it? No, it takes 3 years. It's 3 years of full time. No, it takes 3 years to get your doctorate. No, I don't know anybody that gets it in less than that does it in less than 3. When I came through a million years ago, the minimum was 6. That was the minimum, was 6 at Chapel Hill. And so I think 3 sounds like a good deal to me. To have your dissertation and your classes. We had to do 3 years of classes, and then before we even started thinking about dissertation, then we had to do a year to get all of our permissions for live subject alerts, or a year to collect data and a year to write it up.
That was mine too, Dr. Lamb.
That's how it used to be. Now you do it all at one time. Your first year, you get all your permissions while you're taking classes. Your second year of classes, you collect your data. The third year of classes, you write it up. Still the same process. It's just they let you do it concurrently now. They used to make us do classes, stop when we got through, and then start that process. How much does it cost? Are the doctoral degrees as intense as the add-on? No, they're not. I don't mean to be ugly, but no, they're not. They're not as intense as the add-on. The add-on doubles up the work. You have just a normal amount in the doctoral program. It won't be nearly as intense. The reason why we're so intense, we're doing 6 semesters of work in 3. Are the doctorate degrees intense? Like, no, they're not as intense, but it's the same stuff. It's evidence. You're doing evidences for them. If you decide to do 4 and 2, we need to fill out a new fact. Yeah, you would. And I'll hook you up with those people, and they'll put you right through the process. In the Blackboard shell, they've got to under interview materials in 605. If not, you need to let me know, because I need to get your instructor and get them and give them a swirly for not putting it in there. The interview materials are supposed to be in all 605 shells. So ed leadership leads the superintendent job with the school systems and organizational, community, college, and government work. Yes, that's that. Tanya, thank you for that. That's kind of what it is. If you want to work in the administration of community colleges or city county government, want to be a town manager, want to be the fire chief, want to be the police chief, those want to be the head of the parks or whatever, or planning commission. If you want to be a professional, if you want to be private college, if you want to be the headmaster of a private school or a church school, that kind of thing. For some small 4-year colleges, all community colleges, that's where that's for organizational leadership. Those kinds of things. What is the cost? I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't have any idea what it costs. It's a per hour deal. I don't know what the doctoral rate is. I'm guessing, and don't quote me on this. I'm guessing about $600 an hour. I don't know. Could be more than that. So it's not cheap, but it's pretty competitive with the state schools, I think. But I'll hook you up. If you want to know, send me an email, and I'll either get you with Dr. Putnam or Dr. Laws, and they'll tell you exactly what it costs if you're interested. Does the school where you get an EDD affect the job, in your opinion? No. No, as long as you have it. Total hours for the doctorate, 60. No, not so much. You know, most people make it based on their ability, not where they went to school. Where you went to school is not nearly as important as it was 40 years ago when I came through. And what I mean was, where you went to school back then was important because there wasn't but two in the state of North Carolina where you could go. They didn't have the EDD programs at the colleges. They only had PhD programs at State and Carolina. I'd already been to undergraduate and graduate school at State, so I got in at Carolina. They had PhD programs later on in Greensboro in curriculum instruction, but they did not have widespread programs. And so what mattered then is where it was, because getting in. Now they're everywhere, and so what matters now is how the quality of the work that you can do in your job, and the quality of your work that you've done in the portfolio while you're getting your doctorate, how good your dissertation is, how well you're doing professionally. That matters a lot more now than where you get it. That's been kind of discounted over the years. As long as it's in an accredited place that has a solid reputation in the community, and that's Gardner-Webb is both of those, I think you're fine. I did not. Now, full disclosure, I have no degrees from Gardner-Webb. But I believe the programs are quality. I believe the doctoral programs are good. I know our folks tend to do really well. We're placing a lot of principals, more than any other school in North or South Carolina. We're getting more APs, more principals. Our ed leadership's getting more superintendents. There's got to be a reason why. I think because of the quality of the program. We're the first school in North or South Carolina to go through CAPE accreditation and make it through. So I think that's what matters. I thought Dr. Stedman fell out of his chair there. He just bent over fast. All right.
I'm listening and cleaning up at the same time.
Yeah. I'm answering a private question, Ken. Okay. Yeah, Brenda says her superintendent got his doctorate at Gardner-Webb. Next door, Gas and Dr. Booker just finished. We've got a lot of people in place and doing well. Program is good, and so that is. All right. All right. I think that's all the questions. We've done well. I was planning to do 20 minutes and 20 or 30 minutes of questions, and that's exactly what we've had. I like for you to ask questions. I need to know what you want to know. I encourage all of you who are completing this semester to do the final reflection. I really do read those. They come to me. I read every one of your final reflections. And it's not fishing for compliments. It's not about me or the faculty. It's about you and what you got. And see, I'm doing a case study. I'm going to follow up with you in a few years to see if truly what you think you got was valuable. Now it was actually valuable down the road. And did you get what you came to Gardner Webb for? We're very interested that you do well when you get out in the real world. This is not just about your classes and your portfolio now. This is about preparing you to be successful. So that's why I like these questions that you've asked tonight. Shows me you're thinking about the future. You're doing this for the right reasons, that you're thinking ahead. You want to use this degree. You want to affect the lives of adults and children. You've got the right, your heart's in the right place, and I'm very excited about that, and that you're thinking about your future and about others and how to grow and move through that. And I'll tell you, as I get older, Dr. Stedman's older than I am. I don't know if y'all knew that or not.
By a whole month.
Yeah, he's old. I want y'all to do well, because I want. Thank you. I want y'all to do well in your careers. I know all of you were smart enough to know how Social Security works. See, I paid mine for the people who came before me. You've got to pay mine. So I want you to have a really good job so I can get my Social Security, because I'd like to at some point retire. Not anytime soon. See, I'm younger than Dr. Stedman. Thank you, Lori, for that compliment. Said her principal has been very complimentary of all that she's doing, and he said he wished his program had been as good as ours. Thank you for that. I think as well that I think folks have been complimentary. We're trying to prepare you. The budget piece, yes, thank you. And we want your principals to know what you're doing. We want them to see, and we want to see so that they can see the value in you. This is not about recruiting more people at your school. If that happens, fine. If it doesn't, but we want them to see the value in you, that you're doing the right things and learning the right stuff, and that you know what's going on. You know the deal, and that's why we want them to be involved with what you do. All right.
Dr. Lamb, Albert, call me when this is over with, and then Sherry, call me in about 15 minutes. Okay?
I see Sherry shaking her head.
And Albert heard me too. Yes.
I saw Albert a minute ago. All right. Okay.
And Ms. Hall, call me when we get off.
Okay.
Dr. Stedman, can I get your number again?
Okay, 910-633-4816.
Got you.
All right. I think we're through. Anybody, professors, anybody have anything that you'd like to share with the group? This is an awfully good-looking group. This is the last time probably I'm going to see some of them, because they're finishing up this summer. I feel sad. It's like the kids leaving home going off to college. I feel sad. Okay, so the last question is, if we finish our 80 hours early, can we continue for the 605 in the fall? Absolutely. We will let you do that. We'll let you just keep on going for the fall to catch them if you want to. That's good. That's really good. When did I say I was coming back to Chesney? I'll be back to Chesney in probably within the next. I'll be there. I'll be there within the month. I want to come back by and see y'all, and I want to come by and congratulate your principal. I want to come by and see her. So I'll be looking at my calendar, and I'll get in touch with you. And it's just because I want to come by. I do want to come by and see everybody. Last question is, if you already have your EDS, they'd have to look at your transcript, and that would be Dr. Laws or Dr. Putnam would have to tell you what they would require at that point. All right, I think our time is up. My supper's cold. I'll see our group, Dr. Stedman, Dr. Hamilton, Dr. Shepard, Dr. Crawford, and I. We'll see you Wednesday night at 7. Looking forward to it. Your work's been great. The rest of you, I know that you're having a good time. Jess, I'll see you in Chesney within probably 3 weeks, if not sooner. I was in Cowpens one day last week. I could have stopped by if I'd have had long pants on. I'd have come by and saw you. All right, everybody have a good summer. I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.